Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. This is another recap for my Married at First Sight Australia fans. This is the episode 3 recap, and I'm telling you, it's been really good so far. But we're going to unpack it and we're going to talk about it. So before we do, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash that like button, and also feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's jump into this recap. And I mean, yeah, it's going to be really good. So we're going to first start talking about one of our earlier couples, Ella and Mitch. They definitely had sexually charged chemistry on their wedding day. So they woke up in each other's arms, but thanks to Ella's 3-day rule, they haven't taken things to the next level and consummated the marriage. I know she is definitely ready to do so. And thank God he is patiently waiting. He's going to let her pretty much move as she wants, which is good. And he's not applying any pressure. So that's good, And like he said, I don't blame you for wanting to take some time and, be able to kind of relax and kind of get to know me before we kind of dive into a physical level of the relationship. So I'm loving this couple so far. I mean, that energy, if you've seen episode 2, check it out. It is on this channel. I'm telling you, the energy between Ella and Mitch is all fire. But she's definitely standing her ground because remember, she also said she was wondering if this is too good to be true. So let's talk about Domenica and Jack. Now, on the other hand, with these two, they definitely had a little bit of excitement beneath the sheets. Domenica explains that the timing felt right and that she liked it a whole lot. Actually, even though there's more chemistry there, these two are definitely feeling each other. It started off a little bit slow yesterday, but once she got comfortable with him and, explaining herself about what happened with her first marriage that only lasted 2 months, she's definitely been more relaxed and comfortable. Their chemistry between them is off the charts. I actually could see this coupling going somewhere. She has great conversation with him, and her facial reaction in these scenes is where the production team is asking her, was he a great guy in the bed? And she was like, I don't want to be crude, but just to let you know, I liked it a lot. But enough about sex, because these two new couples coming up that are about to put a ring on it, oh yeah, we got to unpack that. So let's talk about one of our weddings this episode, Holly and Andrew. Now, the experts decided to put these two together because, number one, he's been married twice and he has a child. And then she definitely wants to be married and have children. That was their explanation. Now, the one thing about Andrew, who's 39, he's a father, and his daughter is the pride of his life. Now, he has, again, been married 2 previous times. One of them having him move to Australia. And he can see himself having more kids in the future. And he wants a motherly, nurturing, and kind wife. Now, he did have a sit-down conversation with one of the experts, and she wanted to make sure that, he's all in. Is he serious about marriage, being that he's been married twice, plus the fact that he's only been in Australia for a short period of time. And whether or not he's, going to stick around. Is he have any plans moving in the future? And he doesn't. He's planning on he said he's not going anywhere, and that he's looking for a marriage to last a lifetime. Now, we have Holly. She's 36. Now, one thing about her, being a wife and a mother is the most important thing in her life. But because of her age, she worried that her fertility is going to play a big part because it's not looking so great at this age. She also has a conversation with one of the experts as well. And, she really stressed the fact that, she wanted to be a mom so bad. She did not like the fact of being this age with no husband and no child. She's definitely big on manifestation. And she's more than happy to talk to herself in the mirror about manifesting a husband. I mean, she was definitely serious about it. She went through her, her ritual about manifestation and everything. And also, I wanted to mention Andrew is also a motivational speaker. He also believes in manifestation as well, which we'll talk about later. But she does scripting. She puts everything down on paper, to make sure it gets out there in the universe. And, she puts everything down that she wants and what type of husband she wants. And she even have a vision board. She called it her love vision board, and she's hoping that the universe will listen to that as well. I'm hoping that this works out for her, but we got to continue to talk about what's going to happen. So they're getting ready for their weddings, but, she's fearful. She's hoping that it will work out. He's also wanting to make sure that this is his last time getting married, and they're both definitely ready to go. He has a conversation with his daughter, which I thought that was so cute watching that, but he wanted to make sure that the wife that he marries is going to also be okay with being a stepmom as well. One of the I would say romantic things that he did was he wrote her a love letter, and the love letter was so sweet. It was very encouraging. She even had her mom and her sisters there, and I think one of her friends, and they were watching this whole thing unfold. And he said, I want to do my first move by being romantic. So he did send that love letter to her, and I thought that was really cute. Can I say that again, these weddings so far has been absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the scenery, the location, everything. I probably emphasized that in my two earlier recaps, but absolutely great so far. I'm loving it. So they're preparing to get ready to go to their venue so that they can go ahead and exchange vows. And of course, this is married at first sight. So he can't look, of course. He's excited about who they're going to pair him with. My thing is, I guess my biggest concern so far, before we get into anything else, is she going to be in a hurry to push this thing because she wants children due to her age? And is he going to actually be able to make this his final marriage? So he is really friendly with her family, which I like. So finally she marches in, and hopefully her years of manifestation thankfully is about to pay off. She walks down the aisle to meet her man, and you know me, I always like to go for the look. And when their eyes locked, they were definitely like connected. They were connected. Holly does clue Andrew clues into his accent before he reveals that he's from Dallas. And despite a beautiful ceremony, the nerves definitely started to, kick in for her. But we'll talk about what those nerves are actually about. So they do their vows and everything, and they were really romantic. I mean, she was definitely attracted to him from what I see, because that's the other thing about married at first sight, whether or not this is somebody that you're going to find initial attraction by what you see, because you don't know this person. You haven't even said hello. But so far with their vows and everything, everything seems to go off without a hitch. However, because of the fact in their eyes, because in Australia, everybody's used to their way of speaking. Of course, him being from the U.S., to them, it sounds like he has an accent. And she, after asking him about the accent, he reveals that he's from Dallas, Texas. And that's when she got a little bit flustered about everything, She did get her kiss in, when she decided to kiss her groom. But here's the issue. So apparently, because of when she think of American and Texas, which has her flustered, she's thinking about guns and anti-abortion laws. And like, as she said, and I quote, Trump is just coming through her head. She was like, this guy could be the father of my kids. So, my goodness, to her, it was kind of scary. Now, even during their wedding shoot, they definitely wanted the photographers and the production team wanted him to yell "yeehaw" during the wedding shoot, and it's like that didn't help at all. So she definitely put her guards up because obviously, whatever she thinks about the South in the U.S. here, she has some serious reservations about. And I'm like, just talk to him and find out where he is. So she did. Well, when they talk later, Andrew did reveal that he has the 3-year-old daughter, Madison, which that doesn't faze her at all. Holly, of course, opens up about her desire to be a mother, and she sees them both being on the same page with that. Now, she's warming up for him being a Texan, but at the end of the night, that conversation that they have, Andrew reassures Holly that he did not vote for Trump. And for her, that was a definite sigh of relief. She was all good, and she was definitely ready for Andrew to lead her into a little two-step. So let's continue to our next couple. Okay, next up we got Selina and Cody. Yes, I said Selina. There is a Celine as well who got married earlier. Now, with this couple, they say that both Selina and Cody are definitely a good match because they're both ready to love and they've had many struggles. With Selina, she grew up in an Asian family. She revealed that her parents showed their love through shelter, education, and food. However, her trying to live up to her parents' expectations have been really hard, especially when she revealed her plans to get married to a stranger. And she's definitely feeling whether or not she's about to let them down again. Even her own dad was like, I'm not giving you 100% approval. Yikes. And you can tell by her mom's facial expression, she is definitely not feeling this. But Selina's going to go ahead with it. She's definitely forging ahead. She wants a man who looks after himself, who's equal, and who loves her for her. Now, as for Cody, he's an adventure-loving man. His dad passed away from a heart attack when he was 15. And it's definitely led to him struggling to be vulnerable. That's going to be interesting. But he claimed he's ready to love. And only thing I would say that was pretty interesting what he was saying is that he's like, this is going to be an adventure, just like all the rest of my adventures. So I'm wondering if he's taking this whole thing seriously or if it's just something that he's going to try out for fun. Hopefully that's not the case, but there's going to be some trouble in the waters early for this couple. But nonetheless, they had their intimate wedding. One thing I like about this location, which according to the show, this is probably one of the most spectacular in their history. I will say it's absolutely beautiful because the intimate wedding is by candlelight and moonlight. They definitely dialed the romance up. So he turns his head as the usual tradition with the show goes. She comes down the aisle, and that dress is absolutely gorgeous on her. I think she looks beautiful just to go with the scenery and all of the candles and everything. I'm just hoping that the best venue they had wasn't on the couple that may not work out. But when he turned around, his face made it seems pretty much that he was happy about the initial attraction, and they even kind of, they kissed each other's cheek to introduce each other. But, she really got going. But his face was like, I didn't know whether I want to say it's kind of like just for the cameras or what, because his eyes was, I don't even know how to describe it. Anyway, she was definitely full of energy. She even started out to make their couple name and calling it Colina. and that she said, we're going to steal this moving forward, whatever that means. Now, the other thing that Cody quickly discovered about Selena, that she's real quirky, and possibly because she's distracted by us, in the middle of the ceremony by a possum that's in a tree, or because she's hoping a trip to the grocery store together would be like a trip to Ibiza. I think that's what she called it. I don't know, but their conversation at that table was real interesting because Cody was finding her energy a little bit too much and over the top. Sound like somebody else we know from Married at First Sight Boston season 14. But I don't see Selena as like that person. They've only known each other for a few hours, so Selena takes a moment at the reception to suggest that they get matching tattoos. Yeah, he was looking real crazy. He was laughing nervously. She definitely tried to scratch the surface, with the type of chat she had. And as she was doing that, Cody was freaking out. I mean, she was talking about kids in particular, which made him squirm. Selena kind of catches and reads the room that she might need to tone it down a little bit. But as the night progressed, he opened up about his father's death to Selena, which, brings the two of them a little bit closer. But she even said sometimes she tends to run guys away because she's just a little bit too much and over the top. And she was asking a lot of questions. Now, me as an intentional person, I can ask a lot of questions, because I want to know. But I guess he was like, I've only known you for an hour. Can we kind of like melt into this situation? So it's going to get real interesting later. But let's continue. So let's talk about some of these other honeymoons. So Celine and Anthony got married earlier. Now, here's the thing. Anthony is a romantic. And you got to remember that Celine hasn't been married hasn't been in a relationship, I think, for 9 years. The problem with these two is that the next day, and I don't know if you checked out my recap for episode 2, he was trying to feed her fruit and she was not feeling it. She don't like the whole romantic gesture. She don't like the chivalry. I can open my own doors. And he's the opposite. He's chivalrous. Well, he decided to do something romantic for her because she wanted to take a bath, right? So he decides to run her bath water, put a little suds, light some candles and everything. And he wanted to make it just perfect for her, to make sure that he is definitely catering to his wife. He even tested the water to make sure that the water was just about right. Well, she came in and tested the water and said, you know what, it's a little bit too hot, but I guess it'll be okay by the time I get in. Then she turns around, walks in, and she just closed the bathroom door on Anthony in his face. Yikes. I guess this ain't working well. I mean, she's trying to set these walls because I don't know if she's trying to set some firm boundaries, but he's trying to be that guy for her. That's what happens when you haven't been in a relationship for a long time, that I'm not saying you should be in a bunch of relationships, but at some point you got to know how to be in a relationship, and especially in a marriage with this stranger. This guy is coming out trying to do nice things, open doors, run your bath water, and you are just like, yeah, okay, it's not good enough. I don't know how that's going to work. I had high hopes for this couple, but there's another honeymoon. Let's talk about it. So on Holly and Andrew's honeymoon, after a few afternoon drinks together, Andrew opens up to Holly about his daughter and wanting to find a role model for her. We do see that Holly is definitely incredibly understanding, and he really went deep, especially when it came to the situation with what has happened previously in his marriages and with his daughter, because he broke down in tears from missing his daughter. And we do get to see that comforting side about her, so she does comfort him, telling him how good of a dad he is, the fact that you're feeling this, and that the fact that she's missing you too. So, she told him that he was lucky and told him that he was a great dad. But that touching moment does bring the two of them together, so much so that night we see Andrew decide to turn up the romance in their honeymoon. Yeah, he even had a surprise for her. Not only did he provide the I would say the roses and the roses in the tub, but he had more of something else that he decided to bring and surprise her with in that bath water. He was definitely no shame in his game. But she said that she definitely seen everything that he has to offer now as they share their little steamy bath together and potentially more. We don't know. We didn't get to see everything, but safe to say they definitely topped off the night with more. So after everything that Selena and Cody had kind of went through at the intimate reception dinner that they had, the experts sensed that there was some attraction issues. So they dumped a honeymoon box on them, filled with questions designed to test them. It was all running smoothly until Selena asked Cody, because she asked him, he asked her first if she was attracted to him. Instantly, she was like, yes, yep. However, when that question went in reverse, where Selena asked him, are you attracted to me? He said, well, I'm struggling a little bit. Honestly, I do think you're a gorgeous girl, but I don't know why I'm struggling a little bit with the sexual attraction. And he even said, it's not like my shalong isn't coordinating with my head. I'm just not 100% sure. Yeah, you need to get that in sync, bro. Selena at this point is now feeling overwhelmed by what he revealed about his attraction. And as she said, finding that out was like a slap in the face to her. But she said that she just needs time to process it all. Now, I got to give him kudos for him being transparent about how he feel and not being over the top and acting crazy, kind of like what we're seeing right now that's going on between Alyssa and Chris in the season 14 US version right now. She's not attracted to him, and it's turning into a whole brawl. Now, we don't know yet what's going to happen after this episode 3 for Australia, but at least, he did put it out there, and he didn't make a big crazy thing of it that he's not attracted to her. So we'll definitely have to see what else is going to happen with the rest of these couples. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen episode 2, it is up on this channel. When episode 3 comes in, I will, post it. But other than that, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.